Great. Well, thank you, Lindsay. And I'm so excited to see so many of you on the call today. Some of you have participated in our webinars in the past, but for those of you that are new, again, my name is Laura Biasillo. I work at Cornell Cooperative Extension of Broome County, and along with Lindsay Pageau, we co-manage this statewide effort to support agritourism operations across the state. This monthly webinar series is just one of the resources and support that we provide. So to kick off our 2025 webinar series, we're going to be talking about creating educational and engaging displays for your agritourism operation. I do want this to be interactive, so if folks do have questions or examples that you want to share, we definitely welcome those, and we hope to learn as much from you guys today as you're going to learn from us. After the webinar has concluded, as Lindsay said, it will be uploaded to the YouTube channel. As well, we will be creating a fact sheet that will accompany this webinar that will be sent out along with the recording within the next week or so. So please just keep your eyes open for both of those. So during our session this afternoon, we hope we're going to talk about the relationship of engaging and educational displays as it relates to education of consumers and your farm product sales. We're going to show you some easy and inexpensive options that you can consider. We'll have some discussion around what to include or not include, and then some examples of good and not so great signage or displays that we've seen in our travels across the state. So first, just wanted to ground us and kind of get us all on the same page. So the New York State definition of agritourism is activities conducted by a farmer on farm for the enjoyment and or education of the public, which primarily promote the sale, marketing, production, harvesting, or use of the products of the farm and enhance the public's understanding and awareness of farming and farm life as it relates to the New York Safety and Agritourism Act. So just like to start out with that definition so we're all on the same page about what it is that we're talking about when we say agritourism. So, we really wanted to kick things off with some examples of educational or engaging signage that we've seen as we've gone across the state to really give a sense of, what is it that we're talking about and why is this important? So, when it comes to educational signage, it can really address a few different things. The first is it's your way to be, setting expectations for customers as to what can and should or should not happen on the farm. It is your way to set the stage for what types of behavior are acceptable, what areas you want them to stay away from at your farm, or how you want to move people through your farm. And then as well, it's a way to engage those customers to provide some education that maybe is more visual or just things that you're just not able to have a chance to talk to them about just because of staffing constraints you might have, or just time that you're with them while they're at your agritourism operation. So here we see two different examples. On the right, you see one for a Christmas tree farm. So talking about, that these trees are helping to make clean air and, what the role of trees are within nature. And then on the left, we're obviously at a pumpkin farm. So talking to folks about what those behavior expectations are to keep everyone safe. So, asking folks to not touch the displays, reminding parents that they're responsible for their children, asking folks not to feed the animals, letting them know that, we're responsible for our own trash, and that destructive behavior will not be tolerated. So again, these can be done in fun ways, right? It doesn't always have to seem like we're punishing somebody, but again, signage is a way for you to be setting that stage, setting the groundwork for customers as to, again, what those expectations might be around behavior, around where they're allowed to be on the farm, and, again, trying to just keep everybody happy and having a good time. So here's just some more examples of educational or engaging signage. And I think, this is really great because, again, it's looking at, really part of the role of agritourism is in that education side, right? We are the front line of helping people engage with agriculture. Agritourism operations are working farms. We're taking the part of that educational role as what agritourism is. And so types of signage like you see on the left here as it relates to agricultural production and really helping people, reminding them or grounding them again in, what is the production process? What does it look like? How does it happen? And, how is that important as it relates to not only the farm, but really to nature and to the agricultural and food system. And, there's places that you can find these online. You don't need to be, trying to create it yourself. It's very visual. So for folks that maybe lower literacy, folks that, want to be able to see more visual information, because maybe that's how they learn better. These are all great ways for you to be providing that touch point and that education with your customers without having to, spell everything out. And then the one that you see on the right, again, is related to this idea that we need to be talking with folks and helping them understand about the inherent risks in being at an agritourism or a working farm. These are, again, things that you can find online. You don't need to try to create it from scratch yourself, but it is really important, again, to be providing that information to people about, what parts of your farm may have an inherent or potential risk attached to it, what those risks might be, right? And really trying to cover everyone's behinds as it relates to making people aware of, where there's areas on the farm that maybe you don't want customers to go for whatever reason, and really covering all of your bases. So again, we'll talk about in the end resources and places that you can find these. I do know from visiting with farms across the state that often commodity organizations may provide these at their annual conferences. So the one that you see here on the right for Christmas tree, he actually received that at the annual meeting for the Christmas tree growers of New York. So depending on the commodity organization that you belong to, or that you could belong to, they may provide this for you as well as part of your membership. So here again are some more easy examples of how you could create educational or engaging signage. So in the middle, we're here at an apple orchard, talking with folks at that first point of contact. This is when they come directly into the farm to, check in and figure out, what areas of the orchard are open. It's letting people know, how they should be picking apples, that we're not throwing apples, that we're not climbing trees, and why that's important. Reminding folks that we only want to pick what we're actually going to use, and how we actually will pick that apple. And that really goes across different commodities. Right next to that, we see a photo of a display at a cut flower operation that's really walking people through, here's how you're actually going to do this experience, right? You're going to, pick a bucket, you're going to, get your scissors, you're going to go do this, then you're going to fill this with water, and here's how you actually cut, these flowers so you do it appropriately. And so really walking everybody through and making it as simple as possible so folks don't feel like maybe they don't understand, so they feel uncomfortable. And then all the way on the left, you'll see an educational display that's talking about weeds and different types of weed seeds. And so again, this is very simple to put together. They're using an ice cube tray and those dollar store magnifying glasses, and then some information about different types of weeds. So again, something that's very simple to put together. You don't need to really break your back to be thinking about this. Then some fun ones that we wanted to share. So the one in the middle, encouraging people to wash their hands while they're at that farm stand or other agritourism destination. We have a really fun display here, very interactive, talking about worms in apples and, getting kids to think about, that it's okay if we have a hole or a worm in our apple. And then all the way on the right hand side, there's some information about chickens, right? And what chickens eat and, what they produce and where they came from and, all sorts of other information. So again, this is not something that is very high tech, right? But gives people information so that they, again, don't feel stupid. They don't want to ask questions that make them feel stupid. So giving, that information that can then lead to other conversations. So we wanted to really talk about what the most important components of your signage might be. So again, signage, as we said, is a way to set customer expectations. It's an opportunity to educate consumers on farming and agriculture and how you would like them to engage with agriculture. You want to make sure that you're including, what is the type of agriculture that's happening here, the type of agritourism. How do you want consumers to engage with you and your farm products? And then what are the safety features or risks of engaging in activities at your agritourism destination? So before we move on to these easy and inexpensive options, I just wanted to take a little break. We'll give our brains 30 seconds to take in everything that we just saw, because I know that was a lot of pictures and a lot of information, and then we will move on to the second piece of the presentation. All right, so next is we saw all these great examples, we saw all these pictures, but now, where are we supposed to find all these? How are you all going to think about actually implementing this? So I did a quick Google search of some traditional ag commodity support organizations and found some really great resources that you can either download or print or request to get sent to you. So if you are an apple orchard, I found some really great resources through New York Apple Country. So they have information on all the different types of apple varieties, and that talks about, what they're good for. There's kind of nutrition information. There's information about how the tie between apples and pollination, and that can be some really great information to have out there. And then I also went to the New York Beef Council, I believe, and they have some really great things that you can print out and have available that are more suited for younger children. This was one that I just found right now that's a crossword puzzle that also talks about calves and baby cows. There was also word searches and coloring pages and all sorts of other things that, again, can be very helpful as you think about what type of education you want to provide and what that can look like without really, breaking the bank or, thinking about how it's actually going to be implemented. So again, as we said, recommendations and how you can move forward. Connecting with your commodity organization. Just some examples are the New York Apple Growers, New York State Maple Association, the Christmas Tree Growers, the Beef Council. If you are going to print anything, thinking about online printers such as Vistaprint. I know many farms have utilized Vistaprint to print farm signage, even on things like the chloroplast board or other things that are a little bit more durable. You want to think about how you can plan for the future. And then, as well, connecting with your local Cornell Cooperative Extension office. They may have resources available, whether that's just to help you think about putting together the signage or, potentially, other resources to help you in this area. And so with that, I wanted to, open it up for questions, see if folks had any thoughts that they wanted to share, examples maybe of signage or other things that they found has worked well or not.